Good night, good night. It's 12:34. And I was just, the building got put up and I was just driving past it to see how it looks from the street and everything. I always like to see it from a distance and everything. I gotta see it from the other side of my pond. I'll probably do that tomorrow. Came to this Circle K here. Got a little late night something. And on the way in, I saw this Honda, and it's like not in like bad shape, but you know how like you got that one car, it's there, it works, but the grill fucked up or the bumper's partially falling off and it's being held up by zip ties and shit like that. And I go in and I'm just looking at, I saw it and I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, oh shit, that grill's fucked up. And it's just like the little centerpiece of the grill. So if I showed it to you, you'd be like, oh, okay, it is what it is. Drivable. The important thing was work. And then I go in and I think it's the person that works here. It's his car. So, and he's like a nice guy and everything, right? But I'm just thinking, something hit me while I was at the register right before he came up. And he was very nice, very cordial, or pleasant, I should say, not even cordial. He was very pleasant, handled the transaction, even like kind of just, little late night snack, like just starting up a little small talk. And I was like, I appreciate that. But while he was ringing it up, it hit me. There's like this, in terms of putting it into words, there's this attack on average, like of being an average person. Because I used to work at a Circle K like up to a year ago, really, right before I started doing, what I'm doing now, in terms of like, working a lot. And I think about it and I'm like, I really wasn't average then. I was making 125K. I was making 125K. And I just wanted some extra money, catch up on stuff, get things done faster and stuff like that. And I am where I am now, so things are a lot better. But it just made me think, like, there's such an attack on average. Let me get to the point here. Because, not that I felt sorry for the dude, but I was just like, I was in that situation. It didn't take long to be in that situation. Talking to my cleaning ladies today, while I'm at the house, the AC guy's there, the building's getting put up. I got that mini split put in. The building's getting put up. I'm showing the AC guy, who's now going to be the owner of the company, I'm showing him, hey, listen, the next mini split is going into that building. He was like, all right, cool. And then, talking to him about networking stuff. The cleaning people came. I talked with the cleaning people. I talked about how I used to work in a liquor store and I was stocking shelves and stuff like that. And it's just like, we see this attack on average, and as a person that's been there, right? And you even think about like an Ebony K. Williams, and that's kind of like the motivation, the inspiration. There you go. The inspiration behind this video. Oh man, I'm tired. You see Ebony K. Williams and how she's talking out about like almost against average, and it's just like making C's and D's, and it's like you can see the energy that she's coming with. We know the fakeness. We know that whether you say that you're doing this for black people and you're being harsh, no, you're being a total bitch. And we know what that looks like. Like, we've seen it enough in terms of the mannerisms. When she was asked that question about being being with a bus driver, you could see how she blinked. I'm talking like noticeably blinked. And then she was like, oh, me? Move paper around and shit like that. And I'm like, bro, you can see that shit like in her head, like just flying around. Like, how am I going to answer this and still look good? Because in her head, it was just like her first reaction was like, bitch, please, not me. Bus driver. Maybe my mother could date a bus driver because she was one, but I ain't. I just like, it's so fucking funny. But you see this attack on average. Even when, Kevin Samuels, his viral moment of, average at best, it's like, what's the problem with being average? Like, y'all see how I dress. Like, yo, bro, this is like one of my favorite fucking shirts. Like, my dad had this one shirt and these shorts. And till this day, I think he still has the shirt. It's a top, and it's like a long sleeve top. And like, He still has it till this day. My dad's 70-something years old. I swear to God, that shirt has got to be older than me. I'm 37. He's 70. Yeah, he's 70. Yo, that shirt's got to be older than me. Yeah, 70? No, he's 71 now. Yeah, my dad's 71. It's the 23rd. Yeah, he's 71 now. My dad's 71 years old, man. And that shirt's got to be older than me. Like, I mean, I got a shirt that's, you know, as old as my fucking nephew, pretty much. So I know that shirt is old. But it's just like, yo, my dad was a carpenter. My dad, you know, he didn't dress fancy or anything like that. I don't dress fancy or anything like that. What's wrong with being average, man? Like, there's this real attack on being average. And it's an attack in social media. People want opulence and elegance and, you know, Goyard trunks and shit like that. You know, from back in the, you know, kick push days with, you know, Pharrell and, damn, who's the dude that came up with kick push? Damn it. It ain't Childish Gambino. Anyways, kick push dude. Kick push. And he had another song, All Black Everything, which was amazing. That was an amazing song. But we have this attack on average, and it's really sad because we have a lot of people that are just being hit in so many different ways, man. Economically, socially, in social media and things like that, and seeing things that they may never, if not will never, experience. And I'm talking about things like fucking home ownership. Like, some motherfuckers will rent for the rest of their lives, or have to live with somebody else for the rest of their lives. So we're already seeing where people are just being attacked in so many different ways. And this affects me too, because there's like certain things that I do where I'm like, yo, why the fuck did I do that? Like, and I do a little bit less now because it's like, okay, being comfortable with myself and not like being guided or directed by other outside forces or anything like that. Just being strong-willed and having a strong sense of self. And that's, you know, getting better day by day, right? Still working on that. Sorry. But you start to see where the social aspect, social media, you know, your local, you know, your social circles, that you're in on a, like, you know, on a day-to-day basis, not just your job, but like your friends, and then your job, and then your community and things like that. But we're getting hit by so many different forces in terms of, you know, not we, I can't say we really, but like people are getting hit with so many different forces, and I could be back in that situation. So that's why I semi-include myself with it. But you can be back in that situation in no time. It doesn't take much to fall off the horse, so to speak, right? I've only been doing what I've been doing for about like a year, you know, and it's not easy. It's not easy. It's definitely not a marathon. It's definitely not a marathon thing. It's a sprint. And when I see people act the way that they act and with their money and everything like that, it's just like, I don't want to be that person, because that fall from grace is hard. I mean, the higher you go, the harder you fall. You know, the harder the impact. And I don't want, like, say, an Ebony K. Williams or something like that to actually fall. I just want you to chill the fuck out, like, you know, when you're saying this shit. Because the problem is not that she's saying what she's saying for herself. She's talking for other people. Even though she'll say, oh, I can only talk for myself. And then she'll make books and generalizations and, she'll make books, generalizations, and everything else based off of how she feels about herself, but then put it out there like, I want this for black people. And it's just like, I thought you were talking for yourself. Now you're talking for a whole fucking group, a whole community. Like which, pick a fucking struggle here. Like, which one are you doing? And then you start to see other things where it's like, you know, we know what, like, that, like, it's kind of like black feminists, black intersectionalist dog whistle language, so to speak. And those dogs will listen to that. They will see that. What the hell is that? That is a gray hair, most likely. Yep. They will see this. They will understand it. They will say, oh, okay, I understand. I need to be listening to this. And then you start to look at the demographics. You start to look at the numbers, how much debt that a lot of black women are in, how much debt that black people are in, how much school loan debt that black people are in, especially black women that are, that have all these degrees, have all these, single sole proprietor businesses and things like that. You start to see how, as much as it sounds good as a talking point, it does not feel good financially. It does not feel good in terms of the lack of opportunities that you have. It does not feel good when you get these nice degrees, but then your position, the degree in the field of study that what you got it for is not desired by the job market. And even if you do get a job, you are severely underpaid to the point where all you can afford are your living expenses. And you can't, and then don't even talk about, like, you know, paying back that debt in any way, shape, form, or fashion in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, think about it. Some people are going to get their first home. I was talking to my homeboy, and he's like, man, I'm middle-aged, and I ain't even got a house yet. And no slight to him, we talk, you know, ha-ha, kiki and shit. And I was talking to him about it. I was like, yo, bro, it's fucking crazy, but this is what happened. Like, you know, he's in South Florida, so, like, the cost of living is crazy. If he took whatever he's making in South Florida somewhere else, you know, if he could work remotely, different story. But he's in the situation that he's in, and he's married, you know, so he has, I think his wife has a kid, and then, like, it's a step kid, and then he had, I don't know if he has a kid with her, I don't know, I think he does, maybe. Anyways, so that's 2 incomes, and that's still not enough in South Florida. So you have, even, like, again, the local social circles that you're in is attacking people that are in average positions, that are in the position that most people are in, average. I don't know, I'm rambling at this point, but y'all get the point. It's like, oh shit. So y'all get the point, but you're seeing where there's this attack on just being average, that's being normal, being, you know, a part of the majority. It's constantly being like just missiles, you know, just being bombarded, pinpricks, whatever, you know, medical expenses, school, food and everything else. I was talking to my lawn guy, and he was telling me, you know, he's got a lot of kids, and he was telling me about, you know, it's like a couple hundred, you know, every week just to feed everybody. And he does a great job with me, in terms of, you know, cutting my lawn and everything else like that. And, you know, he always drives by because I think he has to get his kid from the school. But, you know, it's just like, man, like, I don't envy his position in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I love what he's doing in terms of being, like, he says, like, man, I've been cutting every day. And I was like, yo, that's what's up, man. Like, business is going strong. Like, he's able to provide for his kid, and he works a regular job, you know, so working forklifts and shit. So when you put all this stuff together, man, like, you know, when you see all these different things and you put it all together, you start to see how people are just really being fucking attacked. And this fucks with the mental state. And you're seeing, of course, you know, people that don't want to, you know, they're just out here getting fucked in so many different ways, man. You're seeing the women getting fucked. You're seeing the dudes getting fucked. You're seeing the women getting fucked sexually. And then you're seeing the dudes getting fucked financially because of their sexual acts, because they fuck the women. And then it's just like, yo, everybody's fucking each other in so many different ways, and everybody's just so fucking mad. And then before you know it, again, back to the video I made about generations lost, but you start to see where years later, people don't, like, they just come out of it and they're a little bit stable. They're a little bit more stable. They're able to afford certain things. A lot of pressures that were on them before are off their mind, so they can actually think a little bit better. So when you start to see, like, the next, you know, you start to see it, and you're not seeing the world through fucking colored lenses. Now you're like, yo, I treated my baby daddy like shit. Yo, I can't believe I treated that woman like that. That's the mother of my kids, so on and so forth. You know, or he was a good man and he got married and started a whole new family. Like, you start to see, like, these back and forths and everything like that, man. It's just like, yo, why can't we see these things earlier? Why can't we see the value in home ownership when we're in our 20s? And sometimes you just can't, you know, that entry that bar to entry is a lot. It's easier for you to pay, you know, a deposit or something like that, or pay your deposit to get a place or something like that and move in, and then pay, say, like 3-4 months of rent, rather than saving up that same 3-4 months of rent because you need some place to stay and you don't have something that allows you to save that money. So that money's always been taken no matter what. But now you're looking at it to where it's just like, yo, I can't even save that same 4 months. Say it would be like $1,500, $2,000. So that's what, $6,000 to $2,000, or $6,000 to $8,000. And I can't even save that over those same 4 months. And that will get me, a home loan at a 3.5% interest rate, or sorry, a 3.5% down, like FHA or something like that, even in this housing market. So it's just like, yo, I can't even do that because, I need to take that money that I could possibly save. I know it's ashy. I fucking took a shower a little while ago. So, take that money that I could have saved and then go ahead and put it in the bank so that I can actually hold on to it and, and save for a down payment on a home. There's just so many attacks on average people that it's really, I don't know what this means, what will come of this, but just realizing, just calling it out. This is the start of maybe a greater conversation, and also even a subset of, that whole thought process of generations lost, man. We have so many generations that have been lost. Think about, you get a home and you're like 30 something and not 20. And then it's a 30-year mortgage. Now they got 40-year mortgages. Imagine getting a 40-year mortgage and you're my dad's age of 70 something. You're just retiring and paying off the biggest debt that you ever have. The biggest debt that you could ever have. And some people will never start that fucking process and never get there. Like, even my dad said it, man. He's like, listen, man, I'm gonna die owing for this house. So fuck it. And now, he's relaxed a little bit and I pay the mortgage for him. Thank God I can do that, and thank God, he put into me so I could do that. But there's a lot of people that don't got that at all. Anyways, the attack on average. You can put like the thumbnail of Attack on Titan in there. All right. With that being said, thank y'all for listening. Appreciate you. Love you all. Peace. Be safe.